Oh,
1 week ago today, rookies reported to Florham Park, New Jersey for the start of New York Jets 2025 training camp. Since then, over 4 practices have been completed in New Jersey. There's a lot of takeaways. I was at 2 of them. Chris was at 1 of them. We're going to empty out our notebook right here on the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back here into Next Gen Jets. Appreciate you all tuning in. Make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe on your way into the building. It's completely free, and it helps us grow significantly here on the show. I am Connor Long. He is Chris Graso. Appreciate it again. All your support as always. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. You can call into the show with the pinned comment at the top of the chat. Appreciate all of your support as always right here on the show. Chris, training camp continues to roll on for New York, baby. Preseason kicking off in less than a month, baby. Football is back, my brother.
yeah, 100%. We all heard you, that little chuckle at the beginning of the show when the thing was playing. Listen, that kind of represents my mood right now. I'm laughing at all the haters. I understand that Aaron Glenn has this team ready for week 1, and I'm pumped for the season already.
Absolutely. And just being at training camp, you obviously see the inside workings of this team, the inside operations, kind of what is occurring in Florham Park, New Jersey. Obviously, with a new regime, it is so intriguing to look at and to monitor for sure here, Chris. I want to start with you, though. Obviously, a lot of key takeaways, a lot of positives, in my opinion. There are some negatives. I'll start off on the positive note for you, though. When you were at training camp and obviously following along on social media as well, who has been the biggest winner of these first handful of practices in Florham Park?
There's a bunch of winners. I think it's hard to name just one. A couple I noticed, Mason Taylor has been showing out, and it's been great for him. Will McDonald has obviously made a huge statement. He coming off a great season, and Andre Cisco, he's showing up too. So I think those three are really. They've been doing a great job, and obviously everyone's coming along. Fields had a good practice today after injury scare that almost made me sell my Fields jersey because I thought I was cursed. But really, there's just no doubt in my mind coming up. I'm ultimately, I'm looking at for the guys who are doing great right now: Will McDonald, Andre Cisco, and Mason Taylor.
My 2 positives: Braylon Allen, Jamal Pritchett headline my list. Braylon Allen obviously didn't play as significant as a role for the Jets down the stretch last year than I would have liked, but obviously with Justin Fields now as the starting quarterback, a mobile quarterback, I expect Braylon Allen to play a significant role on this offense, especially on the read option. Obviously, Fields' light tower speed, and then Braylon's power as well to kind of keep opposing defenses on their toes. So love what I saw to Braylon Allen, his ability to hit the hole hard. I've spoken a lot about him. Super impressed with everything I've seen from Braylon. UDFA wide receiver Jamal Pritchett. Can't speak enough about this guy. A smooth route runner, excellent hands. He stuck out in every practice. My take right now, I think he has a higher chance of making the 53-man roster than Malachi Corley does. I think a spot on this team's roster is his to lose based on what he's shown these first few practices. Gives you a lot of upside in the return game as well. Jamal Pritchett and Braylon Allen headline my list there. Chris, who's a loser for you? Who have you not liked what you've seen out of so far?
A loser. Gotta think. I mean, there's been a lot of positives, obviously. So a loser of this training camp so far. Well, we know Will McDonald, with him doing good, it comes with the rookie bumps for Membu. I mean, I'm not saying he's been horrible, but I'm saying that from all his time with, I mean, I believe that iron sharpens iron, so I think Will McDonald shining obviously highlights how Will McDonald is. I mean, not Will McDonald, highlights how Membu is still a rookie and he's learning through all this. But so besides him, who do you think are some negatives?
The loser, I'd probably have to say right now, it's a tough question. I'd probably have to go with someone on the defensive side of the ball. I'm
Mhm.
gonna go with a guy like Tyler Barron. This is a guy who I was super, super high on when the Jets drafted him. And look, this guy who's a fifth round pick. He's a developmental option who still obviously has time to grow as a rookie for sure. But I think with Jermaine Johnson sideline and not on the field, I think Barron has a prime opportunity to stick out and make plays for New York and catch the coaching staff's eye. He hasn't really done much since training camp kicked off. So I'll probably have to go with Barron there.
Yeah, and I had something I forgot what I was gonna say about Barron. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, his coaching staff obviously loves Clemens so much that kind of also takes away from Barron's production a bit.
Coaching staff loves Clemens. The old coaching staff loves Clemens. I don't get it. Does he have compromising pictures of, Woody Johnson or something like that? I don't get it because it was the old coaching staff. Now it's the new coaching staff. That still remains a puzzling case for sure. Chris, I know we love talking about free agents despite us both knowing the Jets will never sign them. Christian Wilkins released Las Vegas Raiders. NYJ make a move for Wilkins.
I personally would like to see it happen. Right, it had to be on a favorable contract for us. I mean, I'm not sure where we're at right now with finances. Like, do we have like that money to spend for Christian Wilkins?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get the exact number here, but I mean,
Yeah,
with all
then
the
why would we not be in on that? That's like one of our biggest needs, D line depth. And then
uh,
if we could have a couple young receivers to pop out here and there, like that's a good. I think that'd be a good move, honestly.
in my opinion, I think signing Christian Wilkins would be a colossal mistake for this team, especially a team that's trying to shift the culture. This is someone who, once he received a longer term deal that got him paid after a breakout season in Miami, just took his foot off the gas. There was a lot of motor concerns since then. He might even need to have a second surgery as well. So the injury concerns there as well. And we see a report come out today from Josina Anderson that one of the reasons that the main reason, Wilkins got released from the Raiders is he reportedly had a quote incident with multiple teammates on the team. You're trying to change the culture. You don't need guys like this in the building. I'm a hard no on Christian Wilkins, Chris.
Yes, I mean there's two sides to every story. I mean with the Miami thing, I mean everyone on Miami was checked out after
No,
that
I'm
season.
saying with the Raiders once he got
Yeah,
traded
and with
down
the
there.
Raiders, I mean, you don't like to see people clashing with their teammates. I mean, that's obviously just that's terrible for the locker room for the team. But hopefully, I mean, if Aaron Glenn sits him down and like talks to him before or after signing him and gets this straightened out, gets his mindset right, then really what he offers as a D tackle when healthy is a guy
He's
who
not healthy though. He's gonna have a second surgery. He might not play a game this season
on what
on his foot. I'm just checking.
it was a foot injury that he had.
Yeah, I think it was a foot.
If there's question with
Um,
this health, if there's questions, excuse me, with this health, then yeah, I mean, there's not really a
yeah,
point.
left foot. Second surgery in his left foot.
Yeah, so and depending on how long that's going to sideline him for, that's really like, and with the money you're gonna have to pay him, I mean that's
Not
iffy.
even if it's going to sideline him, it's going to hinder him forever. I mean, when you're an interior guy, you need to be able to push off that foot, and you don't need to anchor as an edge, for example, but you still need to be explosive and push off that foot and obviously make plays. So I think the injuries, the culture concerns that come with that as well, nothing good would come out of signing
Yeah,
Wilkins.
exactly. That's something that the old coaching staff would do, go out and sign Christian Wilkins, like we saw happen with.
And the fan base would get excited.
I would personally be excited for Christian Wilkins without hearing all of that. My initial reaction when I heard Christian Wilkins was was available and got released by the Raiders. One of my Giants fan friends texted me. He's like, we are gonna get Christian Wilkins," and I'm like, "Listen,
He's
Christian
all
Wilkins."
yours, buddy. Go get him.
Exactly. I mean, at first glance, right, it seems favorable for us because our biggest need is D line depth, and he could play perfectly next to Quentin Williams, depending on what tech he is. I'm not sure, but that would fill a need. But with all his concerns, I mean, how worth it is it really when you after all?
Yeah, and What I want to get into next is the wide receiver position. I know I spoke about Jamal Pritchett earlier. Obviously, this is such a competitive position on this depth chart because obviously there's not a lot of established talent behind Garrett Wilson, but there's a lot of different names. There's a lot of different bodies, a lot of different guys competing for these spots behind G5 in the wide receiver room. Wide receiver, 53-man roster, depth chart prediction today, Chris. Who would you have cracking the 53 among these receivers?
All right, so obviously the default three, I think, for me. I mean, the third one might not be default for some people, but Garrett Wilson, Reynolds, and Lazard. For people who are holding out hope for Lazard to miss the team, like just wake up. I think Lazard is probably going to be on this team, whether we like it or not. There has been some concerns with him, especially when he's not playing with the quarterback Rodgers. But I think with all the lack of depth in this receiver room, an experienced guy like him, I think he'll make the team. And so that's three of them. I think so. After that, I think Arian Smith will make the team. I mean, I think that's a given. Honestly, since they drafted him this year, so I think he'll have a chance to make the team. So we're at four. I think Pritchett, since he's having a good camp, will definitely earn a spot. And four, it's tough. I do think Corley should make the team. We saw when we were at camp together, we saw him have, I believe, a touchdown reception. So we're at six. Do you think there'll be a seventh? I mean, Gibson could make the team depending on how well he plays. I'm not
I think Irv
sold.
Charles will make the team, but I think he'll start the year on PUP, so I don't think that really counts.
Yeah.
Because he won't be taking up a roster spot.
Yes. So what are your predictions?
So my 53-man roster prediction for the receivers would be Garrett, Lazard, Tyler Johnson, Arian Smith, Josh Reynolds. I think you forgot Tyler Johnson.
Yeah.
So like I said, Garrett, Reynolds, Lazard, Johnson, Arian Smith, and then I think Charles makes it, but he's pup, so that doesn't count. That's five right there, who I think are essential. They're all roster locks in my eyes. So you have pretty much five locks at the position. Then you have 1 to 2 spots left for wiggle room. Now this is intriguing.
Corley
Go
should
Malachi
be one of the
Corley.
spots.
You could go Malachi Corley. Could go Xavier Gibson. Could go Jamal Pritchett. Could go Quentin Skinner, someone who's caught my eye, a big-bodied receiver who can make plays in the red zone for you. I say they carry one more receiver on this team, and I think that one more receiver is Jamal Pritchett. I think he replaces Xavier Gibson's role as a punt returner. I think the Jets view him as a better route runner than Malachi Corley. I think they view him as someone who has better hands than Malachi Corley. That's my prediction.
I think that's solid. Who is the receiver that we got from undrafted free agency?
Pritchett, Quentin Skinner, those are the main two.
Yeah, Pritchett and Skinner.
Dymere Miller from Rutgers, but he's not really in conversation. Pokey Wilson from Florida State.
Yes, Florida State.
That's really it, or at least of the guys who have it. They have a UDFA, Jamarcus Weston, who I don't think has any chance of making this team, but he's played. I think he played 7 different positions in college.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he lined up. These are the positions he lined up at. I gotta find this. He's lined up at receiver, safety, defensive end, line. Oh, I thought I saw 7 somewhere. It wasn't 7, but he came out of high school as a receiver. Then he was safety. Then he was defensive end. Then he was linebacker, and now he's back to defensive end.
Yeah, that's a lackluster short career.
No, he was a UDFA signing this offseason.
Yeah, no, I know, like his past football career so far.
Yeah, he's bounced around everywhere, but I mean, he has no chance of making this team, but that's quite the resume there when it comes to signing with a team as a UDFA or trying out for a team, having played all those different positions. I think it's a valuable asset for NFL teams here. Chris, any other notes you want to dive into from what you saw at training camp?
Yeah, I mean the way the offense, the way AG just walks around and observes, I think is a breath of fresh air. I mean, I've obviously spoke very highly of AG as our head coach from the get go. I mean, the only person I really wanted over AG at the time was what was his name, Vrabel and Flores. But now I'm really sold on AG as our head coach.
Have you seen the way Vrabel treats reporters?
I've not.
I should have sent you this clip on it. I should have sent you this clip on Instagram the other day. You think Glenn is difficult on the reporters? Vrabel treats them like toddlers. It's bad. Yeah, I think I might have
Oh,
liked the video. Actually, I'll try to
oh
find this so
yeah.
we can play it on the
But
show. But
one thing I was thinking today was I was sitting around and I was thinking how I wanted them to draft what's his name, the tight end. I wanted them to draft Tyler Warren very badly. And then sitting today thinking about it, like I realized that Membu kind of, whether I like it or not, was the right pick because now you have no worry about your offensive line. You have so that adds to the youngness of your team. He was a young pick too, even for the draft. He's only 21, and the fact that we were getting right into it, getting right into the mix, going up against McDonald. I already said this today in the show, but iron sharpens iron. And really, I'm so like locked in on our offensive line along with our entire team and how we have one of the youngest bunch in the NFL. So I'm thinking, wow, really props to Glenn and Muji for making like the right decision on this kid Membu.
what would you grade the draft now? A few months removed.
Looking back at it, I mean, it's so hard to grade because what really changed? Like pads haven't came on yet.
You
I
just
still
spoke about how your position has completely changed on Membu, though, so that would probably change.
in my position change on member because it just takes out it takes out what I wanted at the time. I mean, I wanted the flashy, the tight end who's gonna get you, gonna put up touchdowns for you. But really, I missed out on, I missed the point of like the grit that goes into it, and that's ultimately what Glenn is trying to establish. So my updated grade, I think I had it at a C plus ish before. I think I'm gonna stick at C plus. Maybe if Mason Taylor keeps on going like this, and Membu obviously improves a little bit, I'll bump it up to B minus. But this draft, it has a lot of potential.
It has a high ceiling, but it also has such a low floor. Like you can miss on a bunch of these players, and it could be real bad. That's the thing. Like it's a high hit rate if you hit, but it's a like if you miss, you miss.
Yeah, I mean, AZ Thomas and Arian Smith still have to go out there and do some meaningful stuff too. I mean, they have to put proper time into developing those two.
I think AZ Thomas looked really solid throughout training camp as well. And I don't think enough people were covering that too. I thought AZ Thomas was really stingy in coverage.
Yeah, I mean, the reps that we saw when we were there, I mean, the swelter and heat is really one of the biggest takeaways for me, and getting sunburnt all over my face. You guys can probably see, but but ultimately, we had that the refs were there, and I saw there was a pass interference penalty. I think DPI down the field, but really the I love that idea of having refs there for the discipline of our team, and we saw Glenn spoke about this, so I think that was important, and yeah, the coverage looked pretty good.
Definitely. Appreciate you all tuning in. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. I'm Connor Long. He's Chris Graso right here with you guys on Next Gen Jets. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw those in the chat. Call into the show with the pinned comment. Smash that like button, hit subscribe. Appreciate all of your support as always. Right here on the show, Johnny Boy comes in and says, will Brady Cook be QB1? Valid question.
Yeah, this question is just burning in all of our minds right now. I think my guy is Justin Fields. Brady Cook, we saw him had a nice rushing touchdown on a QB sneak, and he was not QB sneak, QB or quarterback option. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, but Brady Cook has looked pretty good. I mean, I think it's between him and Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez was throwing some dots. I'm not gonna lie.
I still prefer Cook. I think Cook has way more upside than Adrian Martinez does, in my opinion.
Yes, I mean at this point we're looking for like serviceable backups. I mean,
Like
Brady Cook.
I think Brady Cook can be a starter in this. Like I think Brady Cook could be like Tyrod Taylor.
But yeah, it's gonna take some time for sure for that to happen. I'm not sure if you put him in that role today, I'm not sure he'd be
Well,
completely ready for
quarterback
that.
one, he's an undrafted
No,
free
no, no,
agent.
no, no. I'm not talking about quarterback when I'm talking about like career journeyman, like career backup, like backup.
I think a lot of people, an undrafted free agent would certainly sign up for a career that Tyrod Taylor's had being in the league for 14 years.
I'm saying that I'm not sure if he's ready to do that yet. I'm not sure if he's like at this point
Well, yeah,
coming
I mean,
out.
he's an undrafted free agent
Yeah,
from Missouri. I don't know if he's ready to be a QB2 in the NFL level at the NFL level.
yeah. So I mean, on the roster, what I mean, he's already QB3, so that's the position he's fighting for, quarterback 3. And God forbid something happens to Fields, Howard is immediately going to step into that role. And then the quarterback after that's going to be emergency. So with your emergency quarterback, I'm not sure you're looking for somebody who's like you're not paying attention to youngness, you're paying attention to how good they're going to come in and play. Because at that point, you don't care how much upside they have, you just care about them getting in and winning you the game.
No, it depends on where you are in the season, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're down to QB3 like before the bye, then Brady Cook might be the way to go. But that shouldn't happen. Like that shouldn't be part of the equation. So I think you just put the best guy on the roster at that point. I don't care if he's a rookie. I don't care. Just get the best guy who has the best chance of winning you a game if necessary at quarterback 3.
I would rather watch Brady Cook than Adrian Martinez.
I mean, yeah, I'd rather watch wins. I wouldn't care who it was at that point.
I would rather win a game with a young piece who might be with this organization for a longer time than win a meaningless game for someone who's going to be off the team and on a different practice squad at that
So
time next
what
year.
what is the path to Brady Cook becoming? What is I should say low percentage path to Brady Cook becoming the guy long term? I mean, it would have to.
I
If
think
it
that
feels
I
if
think it
feels
has
doesn't work out, we're drafting a quarterback next year. That's undisputed.
this is the path, and a lot of fans aren't gonna like it. And I don't blame you. And obviously, I love Brady Cook. I don't want this to happen by any means. The path is Fields goes down. Fields goes down. He's out for the season. Not out for the. Let's say like Fields is out for 8 weeks, for example. Maybe
Okay.
the season, but like 8 weeks. Tyrod comes in. Tyrod plays a game. Tyrod goes down. Tyrod's out. Then Tyrod misses a game. We'll say low ankle sprain or
Yeah,
injury during practice, 1 game or 2 games, and then Brady Cook just comes in and throws for like 350 yards and rushes for another
like
100, and then
like a Mike White scenario. This should be a
and then
Mike White 2.0.
they don't take him off the field, and that's the way it could. That's the only way it could happen this
Yeah, I
season.
mean, and I feel like that's like more of a crazy, mid-July discussion than anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so at that point, we obviously all love the hype that Cook is bringing us at this point, but at QB3, just put the best guy on the roster.
I get that. I get that. I prioritize upside over meaningless wins. Like
Well,
being
I
a
mean,
Nets fan, I
they
think
won't be
that's good.
meaningless at that point. Like, depending on what time of the season. Pretend that right, Tyra Taylor goes down in week 17. You're whatever. You're like 9. You're 9-7. If you win these you're 9-6. You win these next 2 games, you have a spot. Or win one of these next 2 games, you have a spot in the playoffs. I don't want that to be going to a guy who has upside. I want that to be going to a guy who is going to win you the game.
I get that. We're drawing up these
Yeah,
scenarios.
exactly. These are crazy. These are
Yeah,
crazy things that are shit.
we do this all the time on the
Yeah, that
show,
are not going to happen.
especially on the draft. So yeah, bunch of nonsense there. Appreciate you all. Questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Appreciate your support as always here on the show. Nathan comes in. Shout out to you, Nathan. Says, which position competition is the most up in the air right now? You got anything in mind, Chris?
I'd say like outside of wide receiver 1 and 2, like and maybe 3 if you're gonna count Lazard, but second string wide receiver competition is going big. You can say the interior D line because we don't have a lot of it, but these are just both the positions we lack depth at. Besides that, I mean, your quarterback is set in stone. Your running back room is great. I don't think there's any center competition, despite what Aaron Glenn wants. It just seemed like. Now, outside of that, I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean the positions that I look at are wide receiver, defensive tackle, all the main ones. I'll throw a curveball. I'll say linebacker 3.
Linebacker 3.
Quincy, Jamian. The thought goes to Kiko Mawigoa. But after that,
Out of University of Miami.
yeah, because he's the guy that you drafted. But it could truly be anyone's world. You have a former first-round pick in Jamin Davis on your roster. You have a guy who played meaningful and impactful special team snaps for you last year in Marcelino McCrary Ball.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. They see a lot in him. They see the stuff that he can turn into and put him, because obviously playing meaningful reps on special team is not a bad thing at all. It's a good thing.
And then you have Jackson Sermon, who went to Cal and was fighting for a roster spot last year too. And he's a great tackler overall. Like there are a bunch of different names here on this list. So I'll go linebacker 3 to kind of spruce it up. Let's see. Eddie comes in and he says, I guess Mike Westhoff is helping the special teams over the summer. He's one of the best. Westhoff, he's in Florham Park. Chris Banjo, one of his proteges. Thoughts on that, Chris?
I mean, hopefully, it can fix some of the awful punts we've been seeing so far. I don't know.
He's one of the most innovative special teams coordinators of all time. One of the greatest special teams coordinators of all time. Spent time with the Jets, spent time with the Saints, and then obviously his last coaching stop with the Broncos just last season. So great to see Westhoff in Florham Park. Appreciate you tuning in. Eddie, Halfmo said, did you guys golf today? I did golf today. I played 9 holes today. Chris, did you play today or no?
I did not golf today. I think the next time I golf will be like Tuesday or Wednesday. The swings are looking a little bit iffy right now. I'm hoping to get back to shooting low 40s like usual. I mean, I just recently broke 50, and that was a big accomplishment through 9. And then I'm hoping to make it a more normal thing, shoot low 40s, and hopefully break 40 by the end of the summer through 9.
I had a pretty good game today. I shot 6 over for the first time not being out in 3 weeks. I had a triple bogey and a double bogey, which killed my round. I could have shot 1 or 2 over today, but overall, I was pleased with my round. I'll take 6 over. Left a lot of missed opportunities on the table, but I'll take 6 over on 9 holes.
Always happens. Always
whenever
happens.
whenever I can get it. Johnny boy, is the secondary the strength of the defense, and if so, why? It's a great question. I would say the strength of this defense overall is the pass rush.
I could see the secondary being the strength depending on the play we get from our safeties.
I understand. I mean, obviously you have Sauce Gardner there. You have so many great names in the secondary for sure, but I go the pass rush because you have Jermaine Johnson coming off the edge, and Will McDonald's spin move just looks better and better. Practice in, practice out, game
Did you
in,
hear the
game
report
out.
of him just like running straight through? Remember, I think I don't know who reported this. I think
Cause
not Kaz. I don't think I heard this from Kaz. It was somewhere else though. But there was like he ran straight through. Remember, with like a full on bull rush and like obviously we wouldn't expect that out of Will McDonald with his build. So I mean that's also great to hear.
Yeah, I have to go with the pass rush, and I think that's great. Like, if you can have the secondary just buy time for this defensive line downfield and just stay stingy in coverage for Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald to catch the quarterback, I think that's something to monitor here. So I'll mix it up. I'll say the pass rush right here on the show. Nathan, I'd say the strength is linebacker top 3 group in the league. Quincy Williams struggled a little bit last season compared to the All-Pro campaign we saw in 2023. Jamie and Sherwood, we got to see if he can duplicate a breakout season after he got paid. I feel more confident in this pass rush. I think they've established more than this linebacker core has.
Yeah, I mean, depending on who you're gonna put at linebacker 3, and obviously, I know depending on our scheme, I mean, that's how much does that really make a difference. But we have 2 guys who are big difference makers in Quincy and Sherwood. I have confidence in Quincy to bounce back. We saw a poor after Salah. I mean, the defense kind of collapsed, and I think that's a big part of what happened to Quincy Williams. And with this defensive scheme and this new defense, Aaron Glenn obviously being a defensive mind, experienced guy in Steve Wilkes, I'm expecting a huge bounce back on all fronts of this defense. So that's not where my concern lies for this team. We can nitpick what we think the best group is, but I really think this is going to be a very good unit. Well, like in terms of well-roundedness, that's not a word, but like, they're going to be a very well-rounded unit, and I think the linebackers are going to be great. The pass rush can be solid if Jermaine comes back full force and we find some guys to step up next to Quinn Williams. I mean, it's all going to be fun to watch.
Eddie, we need to get off the field on 3rd downs. I think the
Yes.
defense is going to hold up this year nicely. I mean, you have so many former players on this staff. Literally, if this defense could just hold opposing teams to 20 points per game, which I think they can, I think the Jets will win a lot of games. But if this defense is giving up 28 points, I don't think this offense can score 30 points. I think the defense is going to control this team's success this season.
Yes. And have you seen the stat where Justin Fields is like 0-21 or something, or 0 like in the 20s, where his defense gives up more than 21 points? Is that
I
a
think that
hoax?
stat's a little fixed just because he hasn't been in like a right system. Like people always show that to me when I'm optimistic about Fields, but I always come back to the fact that he hasn't been on a team with any weapons. He hasn't been on a team that's really
No line.
no O-line. So that's my response to that.
Yeah, I don't pay any attention to that. That doesn't scare me about Fields. And another reason why it doesn't scare me, not putting aside my confidence in Fields, is because this defense is going to be on par with that, like in that letting up under 20 range. I expect.
Yeah, I agree. I think this defense has so much potential. The secondary, the pass rush, all these groups have so much upside that are tied with them. So Certainly excited to watch this defense step up and thrive. Nathan, it's really just McDonald and Big Q, maybe JJ, but can't count on it, and no depth. Well, McDonald was a double-digit sack guy last year. Quinnen Williams is one of the best pass rushers in the league coming off the interior.
And Jermaine is putting up PRs. Like, bro, Jermaine should be fine. I think we should all be expecting more rather than less out of Jermaine.
Not only that, but like Tyler Barron, again, another close to double-digit sack guy at Miami. I understand the concern for depth, but I mean, where they're strong, they're super, super dominant. Like Quinnen is one of the best interior.
He's a top three, undoubtedly.
I think he's the best. I think he's the second best interior pass rusher. I don't know about overall, but pass rusher, I'd only put Dexter Lawrence at it. This guy had 12 sacks in 2022. 12 sacks.
And he had an interception, too.
Oh, my God. Well, was that that was 23. That was the Eagles.
Yeah, that's 23. Yeah, bro. That Eagles game, I had just gotten home from an actual football game. And I don't like to watch shit on record. Like, I always put it on live.
I wouldn't, honestly, I'd rather not watch a game than watch it on record, personally.
That's a little far, but
I'd rather just look at the score after. Nowadays, with all this media, like, I feel like there's no point of, like,
Yeah, I mean, I hate watching stuff on record. Like, anytime we're watching anything I'm crazy about, my family knows, crazy about having it on live. Like, people will say, "Oh, rewind, I didn't see that." Like, pay more attention to the game. I hate watching it not on live. It drives me nuts. But yeah, so I turn on the game live in the second half, and I see Jalen Hurts throw the pick, and I just start going crazy at the end of the game.
Dude, I remember watching that whole game. I knew the Jets had an opportunity to win, but I was like, all I said was literally play by play by play by play.
Dude, and Zach Wilson throwing that, like, I mean, that pass wasn't even good. Garrett Wilson just made a crazy catch.
That was a fun game. TA 22 INT.
Yes.
To close out the game too. That was the first time I think the Jets have beaten the Eagles.
It wasn't in a while. It was like a crazy stat, but ultimately, people. This is an unpopular take I have. I'm fine with it. I don't really care. But Jalen Hurts is like not like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Tough take. I don't know how you can say I don't care about the weapons that you have around him. I don't know how you say a guy who just won a Super Bowl isn't a
Listen, I get the Super Bowl stuff. I mean, but if you put, and this is an argument I have, if you put Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson on the Eagles, like, they might actually have, like, one of the best teams of all time, and they might become one of, like, an insane quarterback, like, really insane, like, break records wise, putting them on the, and Jalen Hurts, he's an athletic quarterback. He is a good leader.
I think Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are both better than Jalen Hurts.
Yes, I agree, but I just can't see putting him at 5. Or
who would you put him over? Who would you put over him?
This is my top 5. Ready? You have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, or Lamar Jackson.
Big 4.
And then Jaden Daniels.
That's where we disagree. I don't know how you put a rookie in that over a guy who just won a Super Bowl and has brought in his team to multiple playoff appearances.
I'm not talking about the accomplishments. I'm talking about just quarterback, like throwing the ball, decision making, overall just playing the quarterback ability.
Team accolades are obviously tied to that as well.
Like, yes, I mean they made it to the NFC Championship round.
He's been in the league for 1 year.
He put up one of a crazy rookie campaign, and he made it to the NFC Championship. He saved a poverty team.
I don't know how you. Well, CJ Stroud did that year 1. Look at what he did year 2.
So for people who are expecting a sophomore slump from Jaden Daniels, I think they're going to be shocked. I mean, the Commanders are obviously going all in. You see him with Deebo Samuel. They picked up somebody else.
No, they're not going all in. I disagree with that. They refused to pay Terry McLaurin. If they were going all in, they'd hand Terry McLaurin a 4-year, $127 million deal and say, "Let's go."
The Terry McLaurin thing is going to get settled. I think that's.
I disagree.
You don't think? You don't think
say that about Hassan Reddick, and it didn't get settled till week 8 of the regular season.
The Commanders are in. If that same thing was put with Hassan Reddick was put around with Garrett Wilson, I think it would have gotten done way sooner. But I know it's like not realistic. But I'm saying that's
Terry McLaurin's like the same age as Hassan Reddick too, and he was asking for about
Terry McLaurin. How old is Terry McLaurin right now?
He's turning 29 in like a week.
Yeah, I thought from my understanding he was 28 or 27.
He actually just turned 29, so I was wrong. He turns 30 on September 15th, so I was a year behind there. Hassan Reddick. I mean,
it's so sad for a guy Terry McLaurin.
Reddick's 30. So
he's finally got his quarterback after all these years. I mean, this is going to be a good. If they get Terry McLaurin re-signed, trust me on this Commanders team, man. Trust me.
If
Yeah, but I don't think that's a big if. I mean, I think they should get the
I
Terry
do.
McLaurin deal done.
He hasn't even. He's holding out.
Do you think he's gonna end up off the team? Like, do you think another team's gonna sign
No,
him?
I don't even know. I think he. I see. I wish he could. I see all the mock trades with the Jets. It's like I'd love for him to be a Jet. You can't pay two wide receivers over
Yeah,
120
like, bro,
million
how
dollars.
much? Like Woody Johnson. I mean,
That'd be
I,
dishing out. That'd be dishing out nearly $300 million over 4 years.
I understand how rich Woody Johnson is, but put this into perspective. You paid Sauce a bag, you paid Garrett a bag, and you just invested into this. Like if he got 50% stake in one of his soccer teams, I don't pay attention to that BS. But
Crystal Palace.
yeah, exactly. And so his pockets, like I know he's a billionaire, but his pockets like must be hurting from that, bro. So like, how much more can he really afford to do? I mean, not afford, but how much more does he want to do at this point in time?
Woody Johnson is a very, very, very rich man. I just don't think it makes sense to pay
Yeah,
two wide
yeah, you
receivers,
know, I mean.
especially one who's about to turn 30 years old.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, at that point, is it worth it? Because then you have your
No,
receiver room.
I would do it if this team, if Aaron Rodgers was still on this team and they were squeezing it, like if this was last year, for example, I would have traded for Terry McLaurin. I would have said screw it.
Yeah, I don't think the Commanders want to trade him. I think that deal's gonna get done. But if he becomes available, that becomes interesting. Because I mean, he's 30. How many years would his contract be? Like, what does this guy? What does he want? What does he expect? Because the most I'd be willing to give him is 3 or 4 at most years.
He's looking at like he's wanting 4 years, 120, $30 million.
See, I feel like the Jets were definitely not paying him that.
It's different for him because he's older.
Yeah, but yeah, this guy's not like in any way young at this point. I mean, I don't doubt that he still has like good football left in him, but like still 30, like a 4 year commitment is a lot. Like you're gonna regress and you can get hurt.
Absolutely. And I really, really like Terry McLaurin. I think he was a top 5, top 7 receiver in all of football.
Yeah,
I do
he's
think he
definitely
finds
top.
his way back to the Commanders. I do.
Yeah, yeah, he should, especially on a team who's really they have their new stadium being built. Depending on what President Trump is going to let them do, they have their new stadium being built. And there's really a new culture shift. You talk about culture shifts. Look at the Washington Commanders, and that's all you take about. That's all it takes. Drafting your guy quarterback, have a solid head coach. I mean, they're really. I'm liking the Commanders. I as soon as this happened, as soon as like they made the Debo sign. They made the NFC Championship. I said, dude, this is the Commander team is going to be run the NFC for the next decade because the NFC finally has a legit quarterback. The NFC is a whatever you call it is a not division but whatever else it is of poor quarterback play and stacked teams. That you have a good quarterback in in that conference, it's going to be dangerous.
Speaking of paying people in the NFC least, did you see that Jerry Jones is like refusing to pay Micah
NFC
Parsons?
leads. Oh my God, dude, my uncle is a Cowboys fan. He's in shambles right now.
That like just stop talking, Jerry Jones. Just stop. Like
There's like you're talking about bad owners and like fan base who want their owner to be fired and they're dreaming for that. Like I know us as Jeff fans have it bad, but Jerry Jones is borderline senile at this point. Like that's bad.
it's and he's running the team
Yeah,
too.
and he's a GM. He's not only
I
owner.
get so mad if Micah Parsons were that. I think Micah Parsons. They obviously play different positions. I think Micah Parsons is a more impactful player than Sauce Gardner is, in my opinion. I think Micah
But that's
Parsons.
without that is
Yeah,
without a doubt. That's not
I
even
think
like a
Micah
hot
Parsons
take.
is a top 5, top 3 player in the NFL right now. Like if Micah Parsons was on my team and I heard my owner say that, I don't know what I'd say. Like I don't know how I'd come on here and do an episode because it's like, dude, get a pulse. Especially with the season that you're coming off of and you promoted a 50-something-year-old offensive coordinator to be your next head coach.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys, man. I feel like so bad for Cowboys fans. I
I
mean,
don't. They're assholes.
not all Cowboys fans are assholes.
90% of the fan bases.
It's like
99.9999999.
yeah, but bro, I don't know the Cowboys fan. I feel more towards the way you feel towards Cowboys fans. That way to Eagles fans. Eagle fans are real assholes. Like, Eagles fans are insufferable. No one deserves it like least than them. Like they don't deserve it at all, and they're getting all the success right now, which is it's fine for them. But they're the real assholes of the NFC least, as you say. I think that's hilarious. But yeah, that's such a joke. What's going on with Micah Parsons right now?
The Eagles, at least, like they have a smart owner. They have
Their owner is great. Their general manager is fantastic.
Howie Roseman, in my opinion, will go down as a top 5 general manager in NFL
It
history.
has to be. How do you build this super team? And hey, it's gonna be interesting to see how they maintain it. But this team is so damn good, man. Like in when I do my like season predictions, I'll share on the show. Every year I do my
Yeah.
season predictions for all the awards and stuff. Like, dude, the Eagles could very well like be in the Super Bowl again.
I think they're winning the Super Bowl. You can't show me one team that is going to stop them from winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it could damn well be a rematch between the Commanders and the Eagles in the NFC Chip if they don't face it earlier. But I mean, the Lions losing both coordinators is going to be interesting to see how they rebound from that. I mean, yeah, like what team is going to stop the Eagles? I mean,
Yeah. It's tough. That's obviously situation monitor throughout the NFL, but appreciate you all tuning in right here on Next Gen Jets. Connor Long, Chris Grasso right here with you guys on the show. We'll stay on here a little longer, so questions, comments, thoughts, throw those in the chat. Super chats and memberships give you raffle entries. Mike D's Nuts, baby, comes in with a $20 super chat. Mike, appreciate all of your
support. Here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
You're the best, Mike. That gives you a bunch of raffle entries right here on the show. So great job as always, guys. Mike, appreciate the kind words. Appreciate all the support, guys. Super chats, memberships go a long way to help us growing right here on the show. They get your raffle entries as well. So appreciate the hell out of you guys. Appreciate all of your support as always right here on Next Gen Jets. Again, we're going to wrap up here soon. So get your final questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Chris, another episode on the show right here in the books. You got any final Jet topics? Any final points you want to get to before we?
well, I mean, not necessarily a point. I think today specifically, the training camp, there was a lot of good news coming out of it, especially since yesterday when we were both there. Justin Fields hopping around after that injury scare with him. I mean, I think personally that's like for our age, that's like almost equivalent. Or we can argue that what we experienced yesterday is worse than a pregnancy scare because that's the guy. That's like the entire point of your season. And if he went down, God forbid, like what is the season for anymore?
I would have
There's.
tried to trade for Anthony Richardson.
Oh my God! I said this shit to my dad. I was like, AR-15, bro, get him on the team.
But why would the Colts trade him?
They wouldn't, but I mean. What would we give for Anthony Richardson? I mean, you're not. I know you're not going to say a first round pick.
A 4th round pick, 5th round pick, a 4th and a 5th.
I mean, I'd do a third if they pushed.
Oh no, I completely disagree. This guy
a third. How different is a third and a 4th round pick? Like,
significantly different. That's a difference between being a day 2 selection and being a day 3 selection. That's significant.
I mean, so let's talk about Anthony Richardson for a second. He's been in his first season. He looked fantastic before he had that injury to his shoulder, and the shoulder injury is obviously the shoulder injury has hindered his career in a bunch of ways. And obviously, we saw the issue. I was a big Pat McAfee show watcher at one point, especially with Rodgers. I'm still a Pat McAfee show enjoyer. So I would watch, and obviously Pat McAfee's a Colts fan, and they were all dogging on Richardson for tapping out and all that drama and all that nonsense. And then in the press conference, they were dogging on him for saying because he needed a breather. I mean, obviously that points to you A, being out of shape, B, how are you as a leader, work ethic, all the above. It was all bad. But some people say, how could you sign that guy to your team? I would combat that by saying it's a learning experience. Obviously, that is obviously unacceptable behavior for an NFL quarterback to be doing that, the leader of your team, like the leader of your locker room. What message are you sending? A, to the team, B, this I know this is very secondary, but to your fans. But he has to have learned for that. He has to get his mind and body in the right state. It has to be. Ultimately, we're going to see in this competition with Daniel Jones for the Colts this offseason, between him and Daniel Jones, how it's going to go. But I'm a big Anthony Richardson fan. I was sitting in the back of one of my classes watching Anthony Richardson highlights out of from when he was in Florida. And I was like, dude, this guy. And this is when I was on a mock site. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the site Tankathon. He was supposed to go 17 to the Commanders that year, and I was like, dude, there's no way this guy's staying at 17. He's gonna be jumping up. And then for next thing you know, he has one of the best combines ever, I believe. And then he goes up. He gets picked fourth by the Colts. And I'm like, dude, this guy has a rocket of an arm. He's athletic. This is everything you want in a quarterback. He just needs to get the accuracy right, get his mindset right, obviously. But I was there this year when Anthony Richardson lit up my Jets defense. So I'm like, so yeah, I would I'd 100% be on board with that, and I'd be able to hopefully be able to combat anybody who's trying to steer us away from Anthony Richardson. I think that would have been a great idea. But ultimately, thank God Justin Fields is healthy. That's the point. That's what matters.
Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Chris and Connor right here with you guys on Next Gen Jets. We'll be back tomorrow, ready on the show. So appreciate all your support. As always, again, smash the like button, hit subscribe. That'll do it for us. He's Chris Graso. I'm your host, Connor Long. Have a great night, everyone. And as always,
Jets, 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 Jets.
Jets, baby. Peace out.
Let's go.